Hi there, welcome. My name is Samantha and today I'm going to be making a travel size watercolor palette. For this project I went on to Etsy to check out some different options and I came across a storefront called MaCraft Workshop. They have several options for urban sketch palettes, little credit card size palettes. They make the 3D printed inserts if you'd like to make your own. They even have equipment like water brushes, small mechanical pencils, and teeny tiny fountain pens. It was a little hard to choose just one item, so I picked two palettes. I placed my order and it took 10 days for it to arrive from Cologne, France. Had no issues at all with customs and didn't get charged duties, which is really nice. And this is what arrived in the mail. Can you believe that there are two palettes in here? So tiny. So I'm going to open that up and then I want to go through the paints that I chose for this palette and why. I think it's a fun project, one I've wanted to do for a while, so yeah, let's get started. So here's a look at how the palettes arrived. They were packed securely in cardboard. Inside there were some business cards and each palette had a protective sleeve that was labeled with the contents. Taking off the sleeve, the palettes are branded with MaCraft Workshop labels, and this is the 10 well extra small watercolor palette. Inside there is an info card and a plastic back swatch card that also has a transparent sheet that you can put on top once you've done your swatches to protect it from getting wet. The lid has a white mixing surface and the 3D printed well insert, it friction fits in the aluminum case. Really nice construction on this palette. This is the 12+2 extra small watercolor palette. And inside it has the same info and swatch card. I like that these inserts come out for easy cleaning. And also the bottom of the pans have these ridges from the 3D printing process that gives the watercolor paints something to grab onto when they dry. There's nothing worse than opening up a travel palette to find your paints skating around loose in the box. So I really like both palettes, but the one I ended up selecting for this project was the 12+2. It has 12 smaller wells in the middle and then two larger ones on either side that I think will be really great for mixing colors. And when I started to look at the paints that I wanted to put into this palette, to me, if you want a versatile palette, you have to start with a mixing trio. And then I built out from there. So considering the colors, I like the idea that all of them will be fairly transparent and will work well with each other. And then I added 3 convenience colors. Keeping in mind, sometimes you just want to get that quick sketch in and go. Now with all that being said, I think it's time to get to the fun part. Let's get some paint in this palette and I'll chime in at the end to show you the finished product. Here are the watercolors and a mock-up of how they'll be arranged in the palette. I will list all of the paints and materials in the description box below. My plan is to build this palette around a primary mixing trio. The colors that I selected are Quinacridone Gold, Quinacridone Magenta, and Anthraquinoid Blue. With these 3, I am able to mix a wide range of colors to create a beautiful, punchy jewel tone palette. I will also be adding a neutral tint that gives me the ability to tone down these colors for added versatility. Filling out the rest of the palette, I wasn't sure if I wanted to add a classic red like alizarin crimson. I did a little research and came across Anthraquinoid Red on the Daniel Smith website. Anthraquinoid Red is described as one of Daniel Smith's greatest creations, quote unquote, which is a bold claim for a company that has 266 watercolor paints in their roster, so I thought I'd give it a try. For a cool blue, I chose Manganese Blue Hue. I also added French Ultramarine because I'm pretty sure you'll go to artist jail or it's 7 years bad luck if you don't have it on your palette. Ultramarine Turquoise is a nod to my hometown, Tobermory, Ontario, which is known for its crystal clear waters along Georgian Bay. The bottom row gets a little earthier with the addition of Quinacridone Sienna and brown iron oxide. For my convenience colors, I added olive green and one of my favorites, Jane's Gray, which is not only beautiful, but it also functions as the neutral tint on this palette. Last but not least, I had to have Naples Yellow, which is my go-to to add a little sunshine. So this is it, the finished product. My travel size watercolor palette. Just want to give you a little close-up of the colors. They're so pretty. Check out my next plein air vlog. I'll be using this palette. I can't wait to give you an update and review. Also, check out MaCraft Workshop on Etsy. I don't have any affiliation with this company, but I do like supporting small businesses that make cool stuff, and this is definitely a cool palette. I want to thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time.